Victor puts a man down at center ice. Big hit from 24. Saved by Redmond. Rebound. He got that one too. And Evan coming down the wing. Secret scores!
Big shot save made by Comerton Bond.
Front shot saved by Redmond. He'll hang on. Victor puts a man down at center ice. Big hit from 24.
Hello and welcome into the Arctic Edge Ice Arena for night 2 of 2 as the Alabama Frozen Tide come into town and take on the hometown Oklahoma Sooners up here in Edmond, Oklahoma, just a few miles north of downtown Oklahoma City. Hi everybody and welcome back into the broadcast booth tonight alongside Amy Acevedo. I'm Caleb Shaw here bringing you all the action from the ice, and last night they went on a tear, putting up 10 goals in a big outburst.
Exactly, an incredible game coming off a great weekend in a series against Arkansas. It was really impressive to see the Sooners keep their foot on the gas and have such a high-scoring game.
Yeah, and what we looked at yesterday from Coach Arvanites, he was really proud of how they came out and finished that game. But in the first period, Alabama came back and made a game out of it. Took them to the locker room a little bit nervous. Here's what Coach had to say about that in an interview we had last night with him.
Come in and not be overly confident. You know, I've always said it, it's right now that Alabama team, right now they're 0-5, and they're going to be playing desperate hockey. And when you play a team that plays desperate, they're going to always, give their best. So we just can't come in and think that it's going to be given to us. When we got up 3-0, all of a sudden we sort of pushed back a little bit, and we just thought like the game was over. And literally from that point on to the end of the period, we only had like 2 shots. So that was not the way we started, and that's not the way we want to finish.
We spoke to him after the game, before the game last night. This team has come out, they've started fast, they've finished fast. It's really going to be just about tonight. Can they play a full 60 minutes and keep this big winning streak going?
Exactly, and he also pointed out after the game last night that he didn't want them to rest on their laurels. He didn't want them to take this big win last night as any means to go easy today, and he still wants them to keep their foot on the gas. And he also noted that Alabama is now 0-5, and they're going to be extra desperate and extra hungry for that first win of the season, so the Sooners cannot let off at all.
We also spoke to Alabama head coach Phil Tesserero. He took over in 2019, and since this D1 program has elevated and they're commanding a national identity that they truly deserve, don't let the 0-5 start fool you. Here's what Coach Tesserero had to say with our Ben Dackey last night.
Bigger as the years have gone on. Since I first took the team over in 2019, we had about 60 guys at tryouts, and now we're up to about 90 to 112. So we were able to open it up and have more teams to play. I'm going to tell my guys to play the way they normally do. I'm sure they're going to play the exact same way. They're usually about 1-goal games, 1 or 2-goal games every time we play. It's exciting. We play very similar styles of the game, and I think the physicality is what really drives both these teams to be successful. It's awesome. I mean, I've been telling everybody back home from Colorado, my family's watching, everyone in Alabama is going to be watching, especially with the fantastic stream that you guys do. No, it's going to be a good game.
And so, Amy, Andrew Lowe last night was the big performer for OU. He really broke out and now leads this team in points with 9 on the young season, 4 goals and 5 assists. I don't know if we'll see that again tonight from him. Don't know who we'll see in net quite yet even. We'll have that for you as soon as we know it. But, this team is scoring and scoring big. Exactly.
That was a great standout game from the freshman. One of Coach Arvanites' first picks, recruits to the team, and it was great to see him make so many standout plays, but it was also great to see Brendan Sinclair back in the lineup and how he impacted that game so early. Yeah, Sinclair, one of the best goal scorers from last year, and was held out of the second semester. But this year he got back in the lineup, scored last night. Some more leaders in scoring for the Sooners right now, Nate Payne and Will Blake. Both of them with 4 goals. Payne 4 assists, Blake 3 assists for 8 and 7 points respectively. And for Alabama, Brody Wallace in 4 games, 2 goals and 2 assists. Calvin Mansfield, 2 goals and 1 assist. Evan Brown, 1 goal and 2 assists across 4 games played for Brown. You saw Joe, sorry, yeah, go ahead. No, you're good. It was just really interesting to see how Blake went from that series against Arkansas really hot and kind of cooled off a little bit last night, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see him come back in this game and attack and really start to get it going again. He's crucial to this team, and I think he'll want to make sure he gets an impact in this series.
This is such a young team. We talked about it last year being a young team. This one might be even younger than what we saw on the ice last year. And, what I've liked to say recently when we're off the ice is that, this team is no longer learning these new concepts and Coach Arvanias' scheme. They're applying the concepts now, 12 to 18 months into this tenure, and the results are really starting to show it.
Exactly, and also this team was great last year, but this year they're stronger, they're faster, and we really saw that last night up against an Alabama team that is known to play very physically, but Coach said he didn't want his team to let the Crimson Tide dictate the pace or dictate the physicality of the game, and I think clearly with the outcome of the score last night, the Sooners did just that.
Yeah, we did speak to the tune of how Alabama got back into the game, but Oklahoma came out in the second period, and from then on, it was all Sooners. Nate Payne getting back on the score sheet as well. We saw Trey Adonazio come in and play some of his first minutes of the season. He allowed 1 goal in 20 minutes, but one that really wasn't his fault too much.
Exactly, yeah. It was great to see him put out there. Obviously not the highest of pressure with, at the time, an 8-goal lead, but it was great to see him be so calm, cool, and confident in front of the net, and also to see his defense in front of him really having his back.
So we'll take a look at the last 4 games for these Sooners. Only one not on this list, the season opener against Waldorf, but in these last 4 games, outscoring their opponents, 23 goals for the Sooners and 7 against. That's a great run to be on.
Exactly, and last night Coach said that he wanted OU to get more shots on goal, and last night they got over 50 shots on goal and only gave up a little around 30. While of course he wants to minimize that number for Alabama, I think things are looking great for the offense.
So we'll be back in just a few minutes with a little bit more pregame coverage of tonight's matchup, the finale of this weekend's tilt against the Alabama Frozen Tide. It's an ACHA D1 matchup, and you can catch it all here on OU Hockey TV. welcome back to Arctic Edge Arena. Sun's starting to set outside, but it was a beautiful day out there today. Still a little bit toasty for my taste, though, Amy. 88 degrees out there today, and it's almost October. That can go away for all I'm concerned.
Yeah, although it is a little bit chilly up here in the booth, so it is kind of nice to go outside after the game and warm up a little bit.
Yeah, cool to see the pro shop here at Arctic Edge all restocked for the season, as Alabama's starting lineup being announced for you right now. Some OU hockey merchandise on display as well. You can shop more about that under the shop tab on OUhockey.com. New website just live this season. Looks like it'll be Brendan Culbertson-Bond getting the nod again in night. Defensive pairing of Hunter Howe and Connor Horn once again on the back end. And it looks like the line of Mondu, Payne, and Lowe will start up front again, just like last night.
And it looks like Cameron Dunnigan's going to be starting in goal tonight for the Crimson Tide. Last night, Joseph Hughes got the start, but after giving up 9 goals, they're going to stick with Dunnigan tonight in net.
I believe he got a little bit of action in a couple games so far this year. The Tide have split time between the majority of their goaltending. And no fault of their own, they ran into some of the highest powered offenses in the ACHA at the very beginning of their schedule. And we're going to step aside for the playing of our national anthem. The Pride of Oklahoma plays us out tonight with the performance of our national anthem. We are just about set to get underway here at Arctic Edge Arena. Up front for the Tide tonight. Looks like we got a little bit of a different lineup for them. You can see Maxwell Sextro out there in the face-off dot. Combination of Brody Wallace and Austin Fink on the back end. Michael Kramer on the left wing. And on the right side, Max Exton. And we are ready to go. OU wins the draw back. It's Connor Horn controlling. And he'll play it to Ben Mondu, who dumps it into Tide ice to start things off. Tide will wrap it back around the point. Here's Kramer holding on to it. He'll try to escape the zone, but it's quickly intercepted by OU and pushed into the corner again. Connor Horn from his defensive position. He'll push into the zone, trying to get the puck deep once again. 3 Crimson Tide players digging for it. Stolen by Mondu. He'll walk in with a shot that goes wide. No test there for Dunnigan. And now Mondu tumbles to the boards on the opposite side. Tide able to escape the zone for the moment as Hunter Howe blasts one back in. Another fast start here tonight for the Sooners. They're all over the Tide as a stretch pass is interrupted at center ice. Brendan Sinclair taken down. Wow, big hit there. Welcome back to the ACHA, Sinclair. Tide back behind the net. Their first offensive possession. Someone blew a tire back there. That was Wallace. And now coming up with the puck is Horn. He'll turn and put it back to center ice. Tristan Davidson. Dump it back into the zone where Dunnigan will take control. He'll play it on his forehand, took a funky hop off the stanchion, and now OU forces a turnover. Here's Davidson putting one on net that was blocked, and now the Tide come away, trying to force it to center ice. Here's Jake Barone holding on, and he'll push forwards where DeCola plays it back into OU ice. Backpedaling player for the Tide, that was Ralph Mundy. His opportunity to center ice was batted down baseball style by Sinclair. And now the Sooners start their engines back out to center ice. Here's Davidson. It's Tristan Davidson trying to force his way into the corner. He'll turn. Brother Brendan there with him. The older Davidson brother on the score sheet last night for the first time this year, I believe it was. As Will Blake, first time we've called his name tonight, into the corner, along with Demanchuk. Back to the point. Here's Connor Horn across for Hunter Howe. Howe winds up and shoots one that goes wide. It was deflected in front, never got home. Blake back to the point. Here's Horn. He'll wrist one along the ice. That was deflected, never got home. And now Demanchuk fighting for it. Blake along the far sideboards. He is interfered with by one of the Tide defensemen. That's DeCola. DeCola got his stick on the puck once again. And now Blake trying to control. A couple of Sooners run into each other. Here's Carson Glass, the younger brother. And he'll play to Hunter Howe along the sideboards. Turned over in front. Demanchuk trying to get his stick blade to it. He does. And he'll turn back towards his defensive partner at the point. Winds it in deep for Mondu. Tries to stick handle around his man, Carson Glass. Johnny on the spot to get along that one. And now OU tries to force it back out in front. They can't do it. And the Tide get a big clear. And looks like our first stoppage of the night will come on an icing call.
And Cameron Dunnigan's looking great in the net so far for Alabama. Had quite a few shots his way, but he's staying calm under pressure. And he has one loss in him this season, so he's looking to turn that record to 1-1.
And we spoke in the open a little bit. Neither of us really think that this Tide's record is indicative of what kind of a team they are. Last year, they took it to the Sooners in the opening series of the year. Granted, that was Coach Arvanias' first game back in the saddle. Nonetheless, they put on a show here, taking the Sooners to a shootout in that game. Here's Swearingen, played it on the backhand, couldn't hold on to it, and now the puck escapes past him at center ice once again. This could be icing, and never mind, it's waved off. Barone will control. Short pass to Tristan Glass. He's interfered with at the line. OU's onside, and Tristan can't power into the zone. Big hit in the corner. Ryan Matisuk is pushed into the boards, and now Barone back at the blue line will push it in deep. Tide trying to recover here, slowing this game down. Maybe a strategy for them tonight. OU came out with so much gas in their legs yesterday evening. Really got the Tide flat in their face as a dangerous play out in front is cleaned up by a Tide defenseman. That was Ben Wilcoxon. Nice move from Wilcoxon, but the puck encountered the linesman, and that negates what was a promising opportunity for the Tide. Loose puck out to center ice will be brought back into the zone by Alabama. Holding on to it is Molenpaw, and he'll put it deep into the zone. Back up top, it's Matisuk, and his one is going to go wide at Brendan Culbertson-Bond. Deflected back into the corner. A couple of sticks come together along the sideboards, and now Barone, first one in white to it, and he'll try to escape the zone. He's got Nate Payne to his left side, and elects to keep it himself and runs into a wall of Crimson Tide. Dunnigan back behind his own net, nearly turns it over to Mondu, and now Nate Payne. Andrew Lowe waiting for a one-time opportunity, nothing there, and Payne's shot is deflected aside by Dunnigan, his first big test of the night. Mondu holding on, big shot out in front, and Dunnigan again is privy to the task.
A great job by Dunnigan to stay calm in front of the net, cool, collected, had a flurry of a few shots there at the end of play, but he's holding up great.
A great start for the Tide. Almost 5 minutes already passed here. A really high-flying first period thus far.
Yeah, it seems like they were able to slow down the pace of the Sooners a little bit, and that's definitely helping keep them in the game.
So Rieger and Howe on a line together on defense right now as Mondu will try to gain the zone once again. He'll push towards the center of the ice. He is warded off by Austin Fink. And now Fink tries to go the opposite way. James Parkman was contacted along the boards by Howe, and now Mondu, a back pass for Lowe. He'll go back to Mondu. Nice look there, and his shot along the ice is deflected by Dunnigan. Another good look for the Sooners. It's number one in Crimson Night. Looks solid between the pipes, like you said, Amy. Mondu once again back into the zone. Here's Lowe. He'll wind up and fire. That one's blocked by Fink, putting the body on the line. Tide back the other direction here. Brendan Davidson, first defensive player back in white from his forward position. Great heads-up play there from number 18. and he'll play it off the boards and deep. And looks like icing called on the back end here. Connor Horn wins the race back, and we've got our first stoppage of the evening. Excuse me, our third stoppage of the evening.
The Sooners are doing great so far in front of the Alabama net, but they need to create a little more chaos there. The defense is solid, especially after a game like last night. I'm sure they want to tighten up on that defense and that goaltending. So the Sooners need to create a little more action and distraction in that area if they want to get some goals in the back of the net.
The Sooners putting up a few shots on goal already, a couple dangerous ones that went wide, as in combat in the faceoff circle, Sinclair along with Sextro. Sinclair won it back, but OU couldn't hold it in at the blue line. If Davidson rushes in, and now Tidal takes possession back. Here's Kramer with a one-touch pass. He'll get it back on the give and go. He's got some space to work with, but warded off on the defensive end by Hunter Howe. Great play from the sophomore defenseman. Good back check there from the Sooners as Sinclair loses his lumber, and Tristan Davidson wants to pick up the loose change and come back out to center ice with it. 3-on-3 rush for the Sooners as that one is deflected up into the netting by the blocker of Dunnigan.
Yeah, we're slowly seeing the tide sort of change over here as the Crimson Tide look to be gaining a lot more momentum than the Sooners. So everyone just has to keep calm and composed and try to get some more shots on the Alabama net.
And behind the play, a slashing call to Kramer is going to put OU on an early power play.
The Sooners had a lot of success last night with their power play, so they're going to be looking to continue that into today. However, last night they were facing Hughes, and right now Dunnigan is in net, so they're going to have to figure out how to get him out of there and get him out of his comfort zone to score some points.
So puck dropped, and OU trying to keep it in the zone. They can't do it now. One-on-one, race the other way. It's Ralph Mundy, the defenseman, leading the charge. Here's Mundy's shot blocked in front. Dangerous rebound in front of BCB. He hangs on for the moment and is forced to freeze it. Dangerous opportunity on the PK.
Yeah, not the way the Sooners wanted to start this one. Alabama's PK is not that great, and they really capitalized on that last night. So this is not the way they're going to want to be starting off this power play.
And it ends up being his face-off to the right side of Brendan Culbertson-Bond. Nice crowd here tonight. See a couple cool jerseys in the crowd. I see a Michigan Wolverines, a Seattle Kraken, and a Quebec Nordiques right off the top of my head out there. Sooners win this draw back and will slowly take possession back in their own zone. That's Jake Barone holding on to it behind Brendan Culbertson-Bond's net. Barone will slowly make his way. Here's Nate Payne. He'll gain the zone. Nate Payne, low shot on the ice, nearly deflected in the back door by Andrew Lowe as the Sooners get started quickly on this power play. Puck cleared out by Alabama, and they'll get a quick line change. Here's Lowe driving into the zone. He's the first one to it, wraps it around the boards. He's got two teammates in white waiting on it, and now Barone calmly at the point. He finds Mondu, back to Barone. Barone looking for Sinclair. He's in his favorite spot, and he takes a shot that's blockered away with a purpose. Mondu slowly works his way back towards the goal line. In the slot looking for Payne. He's tied up. Couldn't get the shot away. Calmly back to Barone. Mondu back to Jake Barone once again. He walks the line. Shifty pass over to Sinclair. Now Mondu. He walks in with a shot that's deflected and put into the netting, I think. Donegan got a piece of that one.
Yeah, some great passing there between the Sooners, and it looked like they were getting ready to make some great shots, but they have to, put that more on the net and do a little less passing and try to get more in the zone in front of the net. Coach talked about that. Got to get in the slot to make those shots that'll get them the goals they need.
So a little bit over half of the power play time expired. 12:38 remaining in period number one. As the puck is dropped and the Sooners will win it back. Here's Hunter Howe driving in from his defensive position. Nate Payne rotates over on the blue line. He's got Will Blake there as well. A duo of right-handers playing catch with the puck as it goes back behind the net. Carson Glass, the younger of the two brothers, locked in combat with Fink now, trying to knock the puck away. And it comes back up top where Nate Payne will calmly play it. He'll walk the line, tries a backhand pass, never got through. And now Demanchuk will cycle it in deep, trying to get to the slot for Blake. Nothing doing there. Howe will walk. Here's Demanchuk with a one-time opportunity. He fanned on it. And Carson Glass will reset in the corner. Demanchuk again pushed back into the boards. And now behind the net, Will Blake with an opportunity. 9 seconds left on the man advantage for the Sooners. Howe back across looking for Payne. Payne winds up and shoots one that's deflected. Howe again. His shot is swallowed by Dunnigan. Wow.
Some incredible goaltending we're seeing here tonight. Not much by BCB yet as the Sooners are able to keep it in their zone, but Dunnigan's really doing his team a favor by keeping his team in the game early.
You can see Howe reload there on the instant replay. Big, juicy rebound, and Dunnigan able to hold on to it.
And it's really energizing, this Alabama bench over here. I'm not sure how much you guys can hear at home, but they're all standing up, they're screaming, they're shouting, they're supporting their team, and they are ready to erase what happened last night.
They've made this 15-hour or so bus ride twice this month, and no energy lost as Kramer exits the box. Off the post, a shot from Horn. It rung the crossbar, and Bama will survive the power play. Swearingen stood up at his own blue line as Kramer will try to force him into the zone. He's offside, however, and Connor Horn will go back behind his own net. Thanks for tuning in tonight here on OU Hockey TV. We got this YouTube channel started over the summer. We are so thrilled for everyone joining us, both in Oklahoma, Alabama, or wherever you may be watching from. You can find out more about our organization here at Sooner Hockey TV on Twitter, little difference there, or at OU Hockey for the official team account. Now back to the task at hand as OU back in the offensive zone. Back pass from Sadler, looks for Tristan Glass. Now Cavalcante's shot is deflected wide. Great save by Dunnigan, his best of the night so far. Swearingen pawed a puck down and neutralized, and now Connor Horn comes back behind the Sooners goal line, and he'll reset. Oklahoma has been buzzing so far, not able to crack Cameron Dunnigan or the crossbar. Well, I think someone said get back on the Alabama bench, and they do so, but it ends up in an icing call against the Tide. This one will come all the way back into OU ice, and do we have another call here at center ice?
Yeah, last night everything seemed to be going the way of the Sooners. So far tonight, not really the exact same. Like you said, Caleb, they're getting a lot of great shots on net, but Dunnigan is like a brick wall in front of that net so far for the Crimson Tide.
Well, number one in Crimson is locked in so far. That script A on his chest, taking a beating so far. 10:28 to go as the puck drops, and Tide will win it back in their own territory. It's Wilcoxon holding on to it, and he'll force it up as Alabama starts their collective engine. Barone, first one to it for the Sooners. A little cross-ice pass in the defensive zone as Davidson chips it off the wall, tries to get around his man, couldn't do it. And now the Sooners look to force a turnover at neutral ice, can't do it. 2-on-2 rush down the wing, here they go. Tide walking in with a big shot that's deflected by Culbertson Bond up and into the netting.
While Culbertson Bond hasn't seen a lot of action early on tonight, he was essential to the Sooners' win last night. There was a lot of offense, but without him, the Sooners, he was able to help keep them in the game and keep the score low so the Sooners could score all those incredible goals.
Always great to have a reliable backstop in net, and Coach Argonita is so happy that there are 3 goaltenders at this school that are so fantastic.
Exactly, and we see Adanazio got a chance to play last night, and he proved himself quite well in the third period, covering that and not letting too many goals in.
So Sooners in a contested draw are able to gain possession of the puck. Andrew Lowe having to move quickly to get a hold of this one. Looks like they will escape the zone. They do on the stick of Ben Mondu, and it's pushed all the way back into Tide ice. No risk of icing here as Parkman plays it in his own zone. And he'll play across to Fink. Back behind the net, Sooners trying to force a turnover. They will at the blue line. Now Mondu in deep, tries to stick handle around. Austin Fink didn't quite get around his man, and now back in possession. Here's Lowe in the high slot. His shot is saved by Dunnigan.
And Lowe had a great game last night, a hat trick as a freshman, incredible. And he's had a few good looks tonight, but he just hasn't been able to get anything past into the back of the net.
Take one more look at that save as Dunnigan been tested tonight. Don't have our shots on goal counter working tonight. Sorry about that for you folks, but if we do get it up tonight, we'll get an update for you. It's got to be approaching 10 already here in the opening 10 minutes and some change.
Yeah, although the scoreboard doesn't say so, it has been all Sooners in the Alabama defensive zone.
So Bama will win this draw back. Chasing after it is DeCola. They'll play it out to center. Icing is waved off as a pair of Sooners are on the way. It's Horn and Howe. As the double H defensive pairing is able to escape the zone. Ralph Mundy was the last Tide player to touch it that time. They go for a line change. Sooners tried to catch him off guard, but again, Mundy gets back quickly while his teammates change, and we have a whistle behind the play.
And so far, one of the key points we talked about with Alabama's game is their physicality. They have numerous players already with 10-plus penalty minutes so far in only 5 games this season. 2 players with 10-minute misconduct last night. But so far this game, there hasn't been that much physicality so far.
It looks like that tone may be changing as I believe an Alabama player has been sent to the box. They have. It's Louis DeCola, one of the defensemen, And so the Sooners back to another power play that nearly scored last time, if not for the crossbar.
Yeah, this time they'll really try to capitalize on that great energy they had last time, all those shots that they had. It looks like 24 shots on goal, if I'm correct, if our scoreboard's working properly. So they're really going to try to capitalize on that right now.
24 is also the number of the penalized Alabama players, so if that is an erroneous number, that may be the explanation for it, but it does sure to seem that way so far as the Sooners have put everything on net. Dunnigan behind his own goal is pressured by Sadler. Hunter Howe in from the blue line trying to interrupt the play. He does successfully and forces it back in deep. Dunnigan out of his net looking to play it. He'll backhand one intercepted by Sadler, runs into Tristan Glass, and the Sooners will reset up top. Here's Howe looking for Nate Payne. Payne across for Sadler. Right-hand shot, couldn't handle the pass. Now he'll spin and regroup. Buying some time and space. About 45 seconds gone off the power play here. No shots on goal yet. As back up top, here's Howe. Winds up, instead going to go to Nate Payne. Back up top for Howe again. Fakes the shot, back for Horn. Howe again up top. This time he will fire, and it's deflected by Glass and saved. Some extracurriculars after the whistle. Cavalcanti went down.
Yeah, late push from the Crimson Tide after it looked like Cavalcanti might have been getting close to the goalie, but no penalty so far. Besides, of course, the power play that the Sooners are currently on with about a minute remaining.
.8:01 to go in period number one. 1:02 left on the OU power play as we resume with Hunter Howe controlling near the blue line. Howe slowly walks in, back up top for Payne. He's got Demanchuk wide open at the top of the faceoff dot. Played out and ruled offside, excuse me.
Yeah, the Sooners just haven't been able, it seems, to get it started on this power play so far. They have 50 seconds left, so it's still a lot of time to do some damage. But right now, it doesn't seem to be clicking for them.
Face-off right outside the Alabama zone is won back by the Sooners. They've got about 45 seconds on this power play to try and make something happen. Will Blake and Hunter Howe trading places as Howe drives in deep. He'll come out in front, and Demirchuk whiffed on the chance. That would have been it for the Sooners. He was wide open back door. Second time tonight, 13 is missed on a pretty golden opportunity. Here's Will Blake stick handling in deep. Carson Glass behind the net will cycle to Nate Payne. Payne's got Demanchuk ghosting towards the blue line, now back deep for Glass. 16 seconds to go in the power play. Payne lets one go, deflected off a skate boot in front. I think that hit Will Blake. Demanchuk again, back to Payne. Payne across for Howe, a skipping puck. Hard to control for him. 5 seconds to go, is out in front, and that one was deflected behind the goal. Howe again, circling dangerously, pushed down from behind, and that'll kill off the power play. Tie with a potential 2-on-1 the other direction, but instead, Culbertson Bond's going to melt this down in his own crease.
Again, we've said it before earlier in this period, but great concentration and ability to stay calm in front of the net by Cameron Dunnigan. He didn't get too much time in the game last night, but as you've said, it seems like the Alabama Crimson Tide have been splitting between him and Hughes, and that's really showing tonight, this experience and his ability to stay so calm and composed in front of the net.
Down in Norman, other side of the city, Sooners still up against the Cyclones from Iowa State, 28-20 late in the second. Maybe a shootout brewing in Norman tonight as the Tide win back a draw in the offensive zone. They've been held out of this part of the ice for quite a while. And OU will get it back at the center again. Here's Austin Fink on his backhand. He's going to force it in deep where Barone is the first one to it. Barone over to Connor Horn. Skipping puck, played off of somebody there, and I'm not sure what happened, but it back on the stick of Austin Fink. And now Horn again for OU. Long pass for Cavalcanti. Nice connection there. He's into the zone looking for Glass. Glass got it in his skates and tries to fire one on that Dunnigan punches away from the goal. Barone lets a shot go that never got through. And another chaotic sequence in front of the Bama netminder that he stands tall for. .607 to go in the first period as Connor Horn back behind his own net. This would be the first scoreless period of the year for the Sooners, I believe, if it holds so far. Back behind his own net. Stick handling was Orlando Lopez, and now the Sooners back the other direction once again. So I've got a whistle here behind the play. Puck may have escaped the confines of the arena right there.
And it looks like that was an error before on shots on goal from the Sooners, so we will update you if and when we learn that information.
Go down the first intermission, talk to the scorers table, and get some exact statistics for you when we get our first intermission show going tonight. Face-off taken from outside the OU zone. It's contested and eventually won by the Tide and forced back in. Holberts and Bond got a piece of that one. And now Jake Barone will play it off the boards for Sinclair. Sinclair starts his engine trying to get away. Tristan Davidson also there. Sooners couldn't hold it in the offensive zone, however. Hunter Howe's pass went off the backside of somebody out there. I think it was Rieger. And now they'll recover at their own blue line. Oh, right off the face mask of DeCola in front of us. He wasn't happy about that. The puck caught him right in the eye. Thankful for the plastic shield in front of him there. He's back behind his own net, stick handling now, no worse for wear. And the Tide will play it off the boards and try to get it out. They go for a partial change as OU cross-ice pass for Rieger, unattainable. He'll spin and backhand one in. Both defensemen for OU going off for a change. Tied back in, and Swearingen puts a man down. He's going to get penalized for that one, and Sooners to the penalty kill for the first time tonight. The interference.
The Sooners had a great penalty kill last night and so far this season, so let's look if they can keep up with that mobility. They haven't been able to do the same on their power play, but they have to try if they want to keep this game 0-0 going into the first intermission.
Sooners PK has been pretty effective thus far in the young season. Last year it was a bright point in a disappointing year in the overall record department. It'll be Payne and Blake, the forwards out for OU, Horn and Howe. A defensive pair as Payne shoulders forward on the draw. Howe will escape the blue line with it, and a positive start with the first penalty kill of the night for the Sooners. Wallace trying to drive in. He's contacted at the blue line. And Connor Horn will turn trying to get rid of this puck, and he will successfully all the way down the ice and played by Cameron Dunnigan. No trapezoid rule here in the ACHA, so these goalies can go wherever they want to behind the net. Good to see a few Tide fans as well here in the, what would be the UCO student section on their game nights, as another entry at the blue line denied by Oklahoma. Interception at the blue line. Here's Carson Glass working his way down the right side. He's in space to work with. Shoots one a little bit wide. Had brother Tristan on the far side working with him. Now Bama the other direction. Here's a one-on-one opportunity. And Barone, nice move. Deke around, and the shot went just wide. And that was Lopez trying to walk in on BCB. Another opportunity out in front is blocked. Never got through, and Tristan Glass will escape a dangerous opportunity from the Crimson Tide. Their best showing so far offensively.
The Sooners look great so far this penalty kill. Besides that, little mishap back there before, but they're really keeping it solid and out of their own defensive zone.
Bend but don't break, the apparent philosophy on the Sooners penalty kills so far. They do it successfully with 28 seconds left on Blake Swearingen's penalty. Spoke to Blake Swearingen last Wednesday on Hockey Time in Oklahoma, our weekly talk show hosted by our very own Ben Dacu. Give you a little shout out, or excuse me, a little preview of what that was in the first intermission. You can watch the full recordings on OU Hockey TV whenever you'd like, as the Tide denied another entry. Parkman recovers the puck, however, and dumps it back in. Barone back for the Sooners as the power play expires. Swearingen back on the ice. Sooners dump it all the way down. No icing here as DeCola picks it up. Aerial flip the other way, goes off the skate of Rieger. D-to-D pass looking for Jake Barone. One toucher from low. Here's Payne into the zone. Partial 2-on-1. Mondu on the far side. Here's Payne. Looks for Mondu. He winds and fires. Wow, what a save by Dunnigan. Payne holds it in the zone. No, it looks like the linesman rules them offside. And the Sooners with another strong attack will be forced to regroup. Low bodies his way and is able to force the puck loose. He'll get it to Mondu. Mondu walking in. Cross ice for Payne. He'll load up and get the puck to his forehand. Payne looking at backdoor pass for Mondu. Nothing available there. And the Tide forces to send this one out and get a full line change. Some tired bodies out there in red. Blake's pass intercepted at the Oklahoma blue line. He'll be forced to go back and get this one. Chandler Bilodeau is in there on the attack for Alabama as Blake coast to coast here. He's got some speed, and he'll walk in on his backhand. He's taken down from behind, back to his feet. played by Carson Glass now. Swearingen plays this one conservatively back into the neutral zone as Eckstein able to enter the OU zone. He's got a man break into the back door and it scores! Chandler Bilodeau has opened the scoring for Alabama and put OU down by a goal late in the first.
Yeah, this is kind of opposite of what we saw last night, but incredible by Alabama. Eckstein last night scored the first goal, and tonight he used that on the assist to get some speed up to Bilodeau to make it 1-0 Alabama.
Second time in the past 2 weeks that the Sooners have been down a goal here. They were down 1-0 after the first period against Arkansas last Saturday night, and barring a quick answer from the Sooners here, it looks like that may be the case again. 1:13 to go as Blake wins the draw back for Connor Horn. Horn, a backhand flip in on Dunnigan, who plays it off his forehand along the boards. Manchuk, pesky in the neutral zone, couldn't get it away as Gregory Simmons will play this one in deep. Horn in his own zone. Forehand off the boards for Carson Glass. Carson has a turn on this one and got by him. And now the other way, here comes Parkman. James Parkman, that is, for Alabama, circling the net around BCB. A couple of Sooners collide behind the net, turned over, but they'll recover. Here's Barone. He's got some speed. Partial 3-on-2 for the Sooners if they hurry. Here's Barone down the middle. Got Demanchuk to his left, Glass to his right. Goes that way, and now Glass plays it on his backhand around. About 30 seconds left here in the first frame. Demanchuk ahead for Parkman. Here's Austin Fink walking in. He'll turn at the blue line and backhand one past Jake Barone. Reach behind him, recover it, and now Demanchuk with 17 to go. Able to get past Bilodeau and now pushes it in deep. Sinclair couldn't get his stick on the puck. Now Swearingen throws one on net. That's blockered away by Dunnigan. Backhand try from Horn, caught the netting. No whistle there from the official. We'll play on as Cavalcanti behind the net. Couldn't get a shot away. Backhand one after the whistle, but that's how we finish period number one. It is 1-0 in favor of the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, and this game was going quite the opposite of last night. Last night we went into period 2, 4-2 Sooners, and tonight it's 1-0 Alabama. Looks to be a much lower scoring game, but tonight it's been all about the defense, and that one defensive breakdown did hurt the Sooners as the Crimson Tide leads 1-0.
We'll take a quick break here in the Oklahoma broadcast booth. We'll be right back for a little bit of intermission coverage here, and then back for period number 2. Don't go anywhere. You're watching OU Hockey TV.
Step right up. Buckle up. The only direction we're headed is... Yep, you get it. Welcome to the one and only Oklahoma.
In some ways, this film is like the university itself.
The one flagship university that has served the state since before there was a state.
Its story is never entirely completed.
Where one scoop of dirt can save thousands of lives. Where one group of biologists are connecting with world-class meteorologists to protect the one world, one planet that connects us all. Whoa, that one literally might land on the moon. But that's fine, because what's stopping us from going up there and getting it?
Go ahead.
This is a team, a squad, a family, leading a collective pursuit where we share all ideas, embrace thousands of different perspectives, and require every last hand on deck.
Cleared for takeoff.
What else we got? More trophies than you can count? Check. Rhodes Scholars? Check. Largest research engine in the state? Check. The next generation realizing a new American dream? Okay. Actually, it's better than okay. It's OKLAHOMA. It's the strength of many marching under one crimson and cream flag, creating Sooner magic that must be seen to be believed at the one university where one OU family makes up the one and only Oklahoma.
Welcome back to the Arctic Edge Ice Arena here in Edmond, Oklahoma, where the Frozen Tide have jumped out to a 1-0 lead on only 9 shots on goal in that first period. Really impressive play from them, bouncing back after a big loss last night and coming out taking command of this game, despite what you might assume on the scoreboard with OU dominating the shots on goal tally. Yeah,
it really was shocking to see Alabama ahead in this game so far, and the tide has really turned in the Crimson Tide's favor since last night. However, it is a much lower scoring game with only 1 go from number 7 Bilodeau on the Crimson Tide to keep them in the lead.
Yeah, and we spoke to the tune in the Open tonight about how Oklahoma really wants to play fast to control the tempo. They did that successfully. They controlled the tempo, outshot the Tide by 10. They drew an extra power play that the Tide weren't able to draw. But at the end of the day, a big bounce sneaks by Brendan Culbertson-Bond, and the number that matters, it's 1-0 on the score sheet.
Exactly, and the pace was a little slower in the beginning, but like you said, the Sooners were able to pick it back up. And Alabama also hasn't been as physical tonight as they were in last night's game. However, they were able to stay in it, get some good shots, and obviously having Cameron Dunnigan with an amazing game in net so far has really helped them out.
We teased a little bit earlier. On Wednesday, our Ben Dacu sat down with Blake Swearingen and a few more of the Sooner players on our very own Hockey Time in Oklahoma. Here's a quick look at what Blake had to say in his interview with Ben Dacu on Wednesday.
So what do you think of the new D that coach has brought in so far?
I mean, they are great. They're great guys. I mean, it's been awesome working with them these past couple weeks. Can't ask for a bigger D corps. I think that's pretty tough. But I think it's really good to just have some extra muscle to really be able to battle in front. I mean, a lot of goals in this league are just in the gritty areas. I mean, that's where we want to get ours. That's where other teams want to get theirs. So having some big guys on the back end, it's always helpful.
Your goal over the weekend was kind of in one of those dirty areas. I didn't even realize that puck was in until you were screaming like a lunatic in the crease. Yeah. So what happened on that play? Take us through that.
Oh, man. I mean, like I said, coach is just telling us to be on them, be pressuring. So just noticed that the boys needed a change, but coach is always saying get pucks deep. So I just throw it in deep. It goes off the back wall, takes a fortunate bounce towards the front of the net. So just keep driving and just try to put one on net and get a pretty lucky bounce, in my opinion. But hey, you know what?
I think the Arkansas goaltender would agree.
Yeah. You know what? It went in. So
always great to hear from some of the Sooners during the weekday. You can catch that show live on the Wednesday before game weeks here at OU. OU Hockey is proud to be a member of the ACHA within the Western Collegiate Hockey League Conference. Your tax-deductible donation can help push this team to new heights this year and is greatly appreciated no matter the amount. And if you'd like to donate, you can head on over to ouhockey.com and use the Support Us tab to learn more. 3-minute warning for the teams to come back on the ice for the second period. Spoke last night with Coach Arvanitis as well a little bit about having some of his players back in the lineup, namely Brendan Sinclair, and what the goal is heading forwards.
He has a goal to achieve, and obviously he's a big piece to our team, and hopefully he can continue. The goal is go to nationals. Go to nationals, and the minute you get into nationals, it's a one-game series, so anything can happen.
And so, with the Sooners down a goal here heading into period number 2, an early adversity for them here in the season. This is a big test for the Sooners, but I'd like to argue it might be a good test for the Sooners as well.
I agree. We talked about last night how Alabama, Arkansas are not going to be the toughest opponent that the Sooners will face this season at all. We are in UCO's home arena, and that is an opponent that looms large for OU hockey and OU hockey fans. So a game like last night's game, getting the score up high, even against a maybe lesser opponent than UCO, it was great to see the team build that confidence, and they'll have to continue to build that confidence for themselves by coming back in here, fixing those little defensive breaks up, and scoring and getting back on top.
Well, referee crew is back out on the ice here for period number 2. We'll take one more quick break, get back to our positions here upstairs in the booth, and be right back for the start of period number 2. Welcome back to Arctic Edge. We are just about set to get period number 2 underway. 20 minutes on the score clock. If you want to take a little break during the intermission, we did get the shot on goal counter updated here in the booth. 19-9 in favor of the Sooners. 1-0 where it counts on the scoreboard in favor of the Tide.
Exactly. A little shocking to see. The Sooners have 10 more shots than the Crimson Tide in this game, yet the Tide are the ones who are able to put it in the back of the net, capitalize on some errors by the Sooners, and they're leading the game. And like you said, that's what's most important.
So the Oklahoma football team playing some pretty stingy defense after letting Iowa State get back into the game. They forced a couple of turnovers here, a safety and an interception by the starting 11 on defense for the Sooners tonight. Last we checked, 33-20 in favor of OU in that matchup. But back to the task at hand here at Arctic Edge as sticks tapping along the bench. And Sextra will lose the draw back to Oklahoma. It is Lowe, Mondu, and Payne once again at center ice for Coach Arvanitis. Another quick start to the period as looks like we'll immediately get a stoppage here, puck into the bench.
Yeah, right into the Alabama bench, and right like I said before, and same in this earlier period, and even all of last night when they were down by 7 goals, that bench is still always hyped, full of energy, and you mentioned it is a long bus ride here, but they don't seem to lose any energy to that, and they're ready to cheer on their team and try to propel them to a win tonight.
I remember doing about 12 hours or so from my hometown, North Carolina, to Orlando on the band bus, but this an even further drive than that. These student athletes that are still taking a full class schedule behind playing on a club team. Alabama into the zone. They'll float one in on Colbert Simban. He easily handles that one for his first challenge.
And one of 3 teams that Alabama actually has, the coach said in their first season they had around 60 players come in for tryout, and since then it's grown to 90, 120. They have this team in the ACHA, another team in the College Hockey South, and another in the AAU. So plenty of opportunities for individuals who go to the University of Alabama to play some hockey.
College Hockey South, a pretty new organization on the scene, but one of the best early signs from them is just the amount of big names they've got to sign on, the amount of fun that people are having at their arenas. As Andrew Lowe forces a turnover at center ice, here's a 2-on-1 for the Sooners. He's onside with Mondu, goes across for Mondu, but he couldn't put in the backdoor change. They'll reset back up top. Mondu holding on again, goes in deep for Lowe. Lowe's shot deflected wide. Payne got a piece of that one. And behind the net, looks like we're going to get a stoppage. It came off its pegs.
And we're kind of picking up right where we left off, even though Alabama scored the goal at the end, close to the end of last period. The Sooners are picking up the pace, using their speed that is so incredible to start putting some pressure on the Alabama goalie.
The Cavalcanti, Glass, and Sadler from left to right across your screen lining up for the Sooners. Swearingen and Barone back on defense here. Sooners win a contested draw back, but they'll lose it at center ice. Look out. Here's an opportunity for Alabama, and Swearingen makes a nice play on the back check to ward off Grant Alheim. Sooners will reset after a dangerous play off the faceoff. They'll gain the zone onside. Here's Sadler trying to force it in the middle. Tristan Glass couldn't get to the loose change. It popped out in front, and it's cleaned up by Alabama. Here comes a penalty on OU. Someone went down. It was Wallace. And looks like the penalized player may be Blake Swearingen again.
And this will be another opportunity on the power play for the Crimson Tide. Neither team was able to score on the power play last period. This is another chance for the Sooners to show that they are sharp on their penalty kill.
So it is Tristan Glass, not Swearingen, the offender on this occasion. It's a hooking call to Glass. And Bama will get their second opportunity on the power play this evening. A $1:25 into period number 2. Blake wins the faceoff draw back. It's deflected, and it'll stay in the zone after a funky hop. Ty going to roll this one around. Quick shot is swatted at by BCB. It went wide of him. Calvin Mansfield, one of the leading scorers on this Tide team, hanging out near the blue line, waiting for a pass. Goes to Austin Fink instead. Here's Fink driving on his backhand. Barone shoulders him off, and he'll go back to the point for Parkman. Parkman winds it around the boards here. Swearingen, first one to it, takes a shoulder from Evan Brown. Barone locked in combat with Parkman along the boards. Parkman wins this one and fires on Colbert Simbond, who swallows it for a faceoff.
Yeah, not too many shots there on net in the zone from the Crimson Tide, but wait for Colbert Simbond to stay with it, keep his head down, and keep the Crimson Tide from getting another goal on the board.
35 seconds gone off of the power play. fight in the corner. Hunter Howe is going to try to force this one around on his backhand. It ends up going the other direction completely. And now Lopez along the point forces it in deep. This is Simmons turning, goes opposite way. Big shot from the point, blocked by Carson Glass. Laying out on the line his body, and the Sooners get a big clear halfway through this kill.
Yeah, showing why they are so strong on this penalty kill so early in the season and clearing it out of their own defensive zone.
A bit of a silence has fallen over the crowd here at Arctic Edge now as Bama resets back in their own zone. It's the goal scorer, Bilodeau, putting it in the back of the Sooners zone and the back of the net earlier. Simmons tries to force it towards the middle. It's deflected, pushed back out to the point, and in deep behind the net is Simmons once again. He'll wrap around out to the bumper position. Score! Rolando Lopez, who almost scored last period to open it up, has put one through. BCB on the power play.
Yeah, and the Crimson Tide really able to just take that momentum that they've had so far in this power play and get another shot on goal, make it 2-0 Alabama.
And so the first time this year the Sooners have faced a multi-goal deficit. It is 2-0 early in the second. Power play will expire as Tristan Glass gets back out on the ice. Shot still at 22-13 in favor of OU.
Yeah, and the Sooners are going to really want to clean up on these defensive miscues if they want to stay in this game.
So contested draw at center ice. Andrew Lowe, aggressive at the blue line, tries to force an interception, couldn't do it. Here's Parkman dancing around a couple of Sooners. Plays off the boards to himself as he ballerinas into the zone. And now Rieger takes a big hit to make the play. Parkman still there, controlling the puck for Alabama. And with 16:50 on the clock, they will drive in. Here's Lowe along the sideboards. He went down behind the play. Penalty upcoming against Alabama. Here go the Sooners taking off. BCB remains in his net for the moment as the Tide will touch up, and the Sooners, a big opportunity here to try and get back in this one.
Yes, they really have to capitalize on this power play. One of the bigger chances, of course, to get some goals. They've had incredible shots in front of the net, 22 shots on goal so far. Had some great looks so far, but nothing's been working for them with Cameron Dunnigan in front of the net.
Dunnigan been the great wall of Tuscaloosa so far here tonight. Mondu, Payne, and Lowe here on the power play. Coach Arvanites' forward line won at even strength as well. Mondu fights for the draw. It was deflected off of a skate, and Barone got to it. It was pawed down. Here's Lowe in the high slot. He'll shoot one that got deflected wide. Didn't get what he wanted on it. And now Sinclair will backhand one around the boards. Here's Mondu along the sidewall. He'll go up top for Barone. Back to Mondu again. Cross ice looking for Sinclair. It was intercepted 2-on-1. Here come the Tide. Mondu getting back on the back check. Tide once again, cross ice, pass is saved by Culbertson Bond. He got the rebound too, and he'll cover up for a draw. Second time tonight we've seen the Tide get loose and some extracurriculars after the whistle.
Yeah, getting a little chippy. The Sooners are getting frustrated. The Crimson Tide really want to defend their lead. They're sure frustrated from last night, and they really want to prove to themselves, have a bounce-back game, and take home a win tonight, and the Sooners don't want that to happen.
See a couple fingers being pointed by our head official right now. Perhaps a call after the fact. And it looks like indeed there was. Another member of the Crimson Tide has entered the penalty box. Discussion ongoing in front of us between the two head officials as to exactly what the call will be. But for the moment, it looks like the Sooners may go to a two-man advantage.
Yeah, with 1:33 remaining still on the current Sooners power play, that'll be a lot of time, and they really have to capitalize on this.
We'll wait for exact confirmation before we throw it up on you, on the screen for you, but at the moment there are three Crimson Tide players in the defensive zone getting ready for a faceoff, and there it is on the scoreboard. It is a 2-minute minor. Chris Molenpaugh.
This is really a great chance for the Sooners. They've had some great shots, like I said earlier, and this is really a golden opportunity for them to cut this lead in half.
It'll be 1:33 of a two-man advantage for the Sooners. Should they score on this one, Nate Byron would be the first Tide player back out onto the ice. Same unit going back out for Coach Arvanites. 16:06 left in the second period. Try the face-off once again. Loudest this arena's been for a while, and it's won back by the Sooners cleanly. Barone in deep for Andrew Lowe. Lowe back up top for Barone. Go cross ice for Sinclair for Sooners. Set this thing up. Barone in deep again for Lowe. Looking for somewhere to go with it for now. They'll just play catch. Barone across again for Sinclair. He'll turn and walk the line. Another pass back and forth between Barone and Sinclair. Now Mondu on the far side. He'll go in deep for Payne. Payne looking for someone to go with it. Lowe wants a shot opportunity. Didn't get it to him. Now Sinclair walks in. Tip shot by Lowe, but he put it down on the ice. Never got through.
And the Alabama bench, we can hear out here making noise, happy with what's going on right now, and their defense for staying sharp, even though Oklahoma has a two-man advantage.
Here's Mondu in with some speed. He'll circle around the wagon. Put it back towards Sinclair. Barone in deep looking for Andrew Lowe. They'll play catch back to the point. Barone walks the line across to Sinclair. Brendan Sinclair in deep for Ben Mondu. Sinclair once again for Barone. A little bit of space across for Mondu. He'll wind. Shoot one that was blocked in front. Sinclair up top once again. He'll walk the blue line. Play catch with Barone one more time. Back to Mondu. Mondu walks in deep. Shot by Lowe off the post. Or rather, it looks like it trickled just wide. Across again for Barone. Barone up top. 10 seconds left in the two-man advantage for OU. Barone looking for a lane to shoot from. Doesn't get one. Sinclair across Barone once again. Fires, and it's deflected into the netting by John again.
You know, we've seen some great shots here by the Sooners, but nothing just seems to be working for them. Not tonight, at least. And they have 2 seconds left for the two-man advantage, and then another 30 seconds left for the regular power play.
You can see Barone just maybe a split-second hesitation trying to get that puck where he wanted on his tape. Gave Dunnigan just enough time to get over and make an acrobatic save.
Yeah, some incredible displays of athleticism so far tonight from Dunnigan in net.
So tie him up on the draw. They'll get a breakaway from Byron here. They played it perfect. Here's Byron walking in on BCB, and he made the save. Wow.
Speak of athletic goalies, BCB making an incredible save on net for that rush from Alabama.
They played it perfectly. They tied up in the face-off circle, and then they sprung their man, Nate Byron, out of the box. Nearly made it 3-0, BCB's most consequential save of the night. OU wins the draw back. It's Howe controlling. He'll play to Sadler. Sadler, Cavalcanti, a lot of space for Logan as he walks in. Cavalcanti shot on the ice is blocked wide. Here's Howe with a shot that's deflected again. Rebound still loose. Puck still loose. Cavalcanti fights for it. He gets a hold of it and finds Sadler driving in deep. DeCola is there and he'll get the stick on his puck. Power play time is over for the Sooners. Tied 4 for 4 on the kill so far. Byron 2-on-1 developing now. He's with Nolenpaugh. Byron walking in across from Nolenpaugh. His shot. Whoa, what a save by BCB.
Incredible save. Off the glove, it seemed, from BCB. Out towards the stands, above the net. Incredible work he's doing to keep the Sooners in this game.
So whatever adjustments the Tide made in the locker room, they have worked so far. And you saw that move last night from BCB, the scorpion kick.
Yeah, like we said before, the Crimson Tide, whatever they talk about in the locker room, clearly working for them, as they've shown a lot more dominance and seem to be a lot more in OU's defensive zone.
7-6 in the shots on goal department so far in the second period. 6 minutes and some change have elapsed. Here's Blake, long aerial pass, looking for Carson Glass. Wasn't attainable and got a whistle behind the play.
Another great penalty kill earlier by Alabama. That wasn't something they were super strong in coming into last night, but they've definitely improved so far across the series.
Well, if there's any unit you want to practice against right now, it is this Sooners unit. They're getting plenty of it. And the Sooners will win this draw back. Will Blake, soccer style to himself, couldn't hang on to it. And now Ryan Matisic will put it back down the ice. Here's Eckstein put down by Swearingen. Big hit from 22. And Blake will play back for Horn. Gets caught in the skates of Will Blake. And OU's going to have to recover. Here's Demanchuk spinning around looking for some space to work with. They'll find Connor Horn behind his own net. Tide putting a lot of pressure here on the Sooners in their own zone as Will Blake tries to force his way through. He's upended at center ice. Big hit from Ryan Matisic. Eckstein tries to wind one in deep for the Tide here. They'll play it back to the point. Interrupted and sent back into a bench.
Yeah, and now we're seeing the physicality come out of Alabama a little bit more. but they've still been able to keep it clean for the most part. As we mentioned earlier, 2 10-minute misconducts on them last night among a plethora of other penalties. But so far tonight, they've been able to keep it minimal, and they're dictating the pace of this game so far.
12:56 left here in period number 2 as we get restarted. Bama will win the draw back. They're fighting for it in front of Culbertson Bond's net. Couldn't get a shot away. That was Evan Brown trying to twist around and force one on in the back door. Davidson in a race, both of them, as brother Tristan couldn't get it to Brendan. Here's Brown the other way. He'll try to drive in on his backhand. Puts one past BCB, and he's able to dive in front and cover it up in the crease.
Yeah, great with BCB to stay with it. The puck was kind of laying out there a little bit. Scary if one of the Crimson Tide players was able to get in there and get the rebound. But, I mean, when you have someone like BCB in net, you're going to be pretty confident in your ability to keep those goals out.
Face-off upcoming to the left side of Culbertson Bond. The Brown versus Glass, and Glass on his forehand wins back this draw. Both players go down to a knee and pop back up. Fink tries to play it across. Couldn't find his defensive partner that time. And the Tide play this one off the glass where Barone will chase after it. Bouchard in the game tonight for something called his name for the Tide as Sadler is able to gain the zone. Got Cavalcanti cut into the back door. Sadler triple in front and they score! Logan Cavalcanti has got the Sooners back within one.
A different Sooner name and number on the score sheet for the series this weekend. An incredible goal.
And Cavalcanti has cut the lead in half now. Another example of the freshman that Coach Arvanitis brought onto this team, making an impact early. And now the momentum's starting to shift a little bit here as the faceoff is won back by Alabama. Andrew Lowe aggressively plays it near the blue line. What a pass from Sinclair on his backhand, getting it out in front. And then Cavalcanti gets a little bit of puck luck the Sooners haven't had yet as Payne puts one on net that is deflected out for a stoppage.
Yeah, like you said, it seems like the Tide might be turning a little bit now back in the Sooners' favor. Another incredibly impressive goal by another freshman on this team, recruited by Coach Arvanitis.
.11:48 left here in period number 2 as we get back to it. Mondu out for the Sooners. We'll try it one more time on the draw. Now we'll drop it. And he tries to win it forward to Payne. Payne fighting, got a shot away, score! Whoa! Nate Payne has tied the game on a deflection that got past Cameron Dunnigan.
And that is Nate Payne's 3rd goal of this series. He had 2 last night against the Crimson Tide and is able to get another one into the back of the net. And we can see now it's a tie game, and the Sooners, they're back in it.
And look at the reaction from the bench. I think they knew it went in before Painter even did.
You know, that's really going to get the team, the home crowd, re-energized and help contribute to hopefully more success from this Sooner team.
We talked about just waiting for the dam to break, and perhaps it started to. We are right back to square one. Brand new ball game here in Edmond, folks. Eckstein will take it at center ice and try and drive in here. A little bit more speed in the Tide's leg suddenly as the worst lead in sports has suddenly evaporated out from underneath them. Sooners back in the zone. Here's Glass. He's got some speed on his legs. And will turn up in the corner and look for somewhere to go with this one. Quick shot from Cavalcanti went around the net. Dunnigan didn't know where it was. Now Howell lets one go that goes wide. Glass will recover at the blue line. Sooners with new life in them now, and Cavalcanti on the backhand tried to put it out for Glass. He wasn't home, and the Tide will escape this one back away. Hunter Howe looking for Glass. Would have been a spring pass, and he has a couple of words for Brody Wallace after the fact. Down back the other way, Ben Wilcoxon will try and drive past center ice. He's got a friend on his left side. That was Michael Kramer. Kramer plays it around looking for Lopez. He's got a goal tonight from the high point and takes a shoulder from Blake Swearingen. Swearingen twisted around by Kramer in retaliation as Will Blake joins the fray. 2-on-2 fight in the corner now as Lopez got a shot away that never got through, and Will Blake will escape the zone. Blake on his backhand. They stay onside. Do the Sooners. And now Sadler tried to put it out in front where nobody was home. Demanchuk is the first one to it. Sooners caught in a line change here somehow successfully. And we'll finally lose the puck. It's Lopez on an aerial flip that didn't quite escape the zone. He was looking for Molenpa. And now the Sooners will put it back behind Dunnigan once again. Sooner taken down behind the play. No arms up. Not going to get that call is Demanchuk. And away goes Lopez for the Tide. He'll play it off the wall. With Molenpa the first one there. Rieger contacts him in the corner, and up goes the arm on the official. And we're going to get another call here.
And now we're starting to see it really get chippy over there. As the game is tied now, both teams really want to show out and show that they can win this game. Oklahoma to improve to 6-0 on the season, and Alabama to get their first win.
40-20 at halftime in Norman as the Sooners taking it to the Cyclones, starting to extend that lead. Let's see how Dylan Gabriel's doing. 13 for 20, 250, and 2 touchdowns. Not half bad for a half a play. 2 on the ground as well. Wow, Gabriel.
Get the running game going on up there.
Glass in the face-off circle is stopped for the moment. Sooners back to the power play here. The penalized man for Alabama is Molenpa.
And this is his second penalty of the night.
Here's Sadler. Whoa, clever idea there, but a great save by Dunnigan. It goes back out towards the point. Hunter Howe hangs on to it. He'll go cross ice D-to-D for Nate Payne, who plays up here on the point on the power play. Payne shot low along the ice, didn't get through, and Sadler had a juicy rebound out in front. There is a Tide player down on the ice. We play on for the moment. Back to their feet. Looks like it was Murphy, and we will get a stoppage now.
Yeah, a close call there from Logan Sadler, but not able to get it past Dunnigan.
And it was Ralph Mundy that was shaken up a little bit on the play. He's back to the bench under his own power is the best news we have there. We'll get an update on his condition for you if and when we have one.
Yeah, we saw some scary hits last night, but like you said, lucky and good to see players walking themselves back to the bench, not seeming to be too shaken up.
So Sooners here with on their 5th power play of the night. They're 0 for 4 so far, but since that 0 for 4 start, the offense has come 5 on 5. Got a $130 here, try and take the lead. Glass in the face-off circle, wins it forward, and Wallace on the backhand tries to escape the zone. Hunter Howe stops up at the corner, goes across for Nate Payne, soccer style to himself, and back across for for Howe, excuse me. Howe in for Sadler in deep. Sadler will turn at the face-off dot, go in deep for Tristan Glass. They'll have a quick catch here as now Howe winds up, fakes the shot, goes right side for Payne. Payne walking, lets one go that was deflected out in front. Sadler swatted at it. Would have been a high stick if he contacted that one, and Bama is able to push it down the ice. 52 seconds left on the main advantage for the Sooners as a collision on the far side. Tristan Glass made some contact with Sinclair, but away go the Sooners. Here's Payne trying to get it in the slot. He would have had some space in front of him. Instead, the Tide send it all the way back down for BCB to control. Turned over by Colbert Saban. He had to get back to his net quickly. Tide trying to get something going here, short-handed, and clever idea with the bank shot coming in from Brody Wallace. Nothing doing there. BCB able to hold the post. Here's Sinclair driving in. I'll wrap it around for Andrew Lowe. 13 seconds left in the main advantage. Lowe in deep for Mondu. He's got Sinclair cycling up top, now goes to him. Looking deep for Lowe. Power play about to expire. They go back to Sinclair. Cross for Barone. He'll let one go. Deflected in front. Rebound is there. And Will Blake fighting for it. Gives it off to Mondu. Tide back at full strength as the Sooners still pressuring. Here's Barone. He kept it in. Will Blake first to it in the back of the zone. Pressure still on here as Barone looks to go D-to-D. Instead spins with it, buys some time. We'll go in deep for Lowe. Lowe lets it go past him. Mondu tries to cycle around. He's interrupted. Andrew Lowe in for some support. Whoa, he's taken down. Big hit there from the Tide. That came in from Gregory Simmons, his biggest of the night so far. Another body on the floor in the corner. That was Fink. As the Sooners back out in front, here's Payne trying to get a shot away. He was interrupted, or rather that was Lowe trying to get it off. Here's Bama the other way. Eckstein with a head of steam forces it into the zone. He's got possession in the corner. Runs into all 6 foot plus of Connor Horn now in the corner, who will dispossess him of the puck and put it back towards the point. Mondew to it. He'll stumble on the play, stays onside, has Lowe cutting behind him. Lowe's interrupted at the blue line. And some words exchanged in front of us. Tristan Glass and Brown not too happy with each other there, but Glass will regain the zone here. Still at even strength. Goes across for Sinclair. Backhand pass. Whoa! Score! Cavalcanti! What a goal!
His second goal of the period. Incredible work by the freshman. I mean, just amazing what the Sooners are doing here right now. And surprisingly, all 3 of the goals this period have come off of the power play.
So we got the back end of it for you here, as what a disgusting goal that was. No look pass across. We'll get that one clipped on social media for you guys later tonight.
Yeah, I'm sure Coach is definitely going to want to work on that power play. Before we said they're 0 for 5, but I mean, I don't think he's going to argue with that. They're taking the lead now, 3-2 against the Crimson Tide.
Cavalcanti puts on a show here in period number 2. He's got 2 of the Sooners' goals. The first one and what is now the lead-taking tally as he shoves a Tide player into the boards. That was Louis DeCola that he got into there. Some discussion ongoing now as the linesman Webster has to get involved.
Yeah, seem to be separating the players down there. Like I said, getting a little chippy, especially Alabama. They don't want to repeat of what happened last night. And they were looking great. They've been looking great all throughout this period. Like I said, great on the penalty kill against the Sooners. But things have just slipped in the last few minutes, and the Sooners are able to stay on top, or get on top, 3-2.
5:56, as you mentioned, to go here in period number 2. If I'm not mistaken, the East Rink here at Arctic Edge Center has the only curling rink in Oklahoma. The OKC Curling Club meets here as a shot off the draw was deflected. BCB had to be privy to that one. DeColo at the point, waiting for a pass. Doesn't come from Simmons. He'll instead wind to shoot it himself. Blocked by Tristan Glass. Here's a 2-on-1 with Cavalcanti. Glass walking in to Cavalcanti. He's going to high it, shoot, score! Another hat trick for the Sooners.
And this will be the second hat trick in 2 nights by a freshman on the team. These young Sooners, they're looking to prove themselves on this team, and they've done it so far incredibly in this series against Alabama.
It is the 3rd Hattie of the year on home ice for the Sooners in only 4 games as a loud Boomer Sooner erupts from the grandstands across from us.
Exactly. These fans are loving it out here, getting to see some good Sooner hockey. And we're still with 5:39 left in the second period. 4-2 Oklahoma.
.32 shots on goal for the Sooners as it sits on the scoreboard here to our right. And this has gone topsy-turvy in a hurry. Cameron Dunnigan, after looking like the best goalie on this side of the Mississippi for about a period and a half, has struggled in the past 5 minutes or so as a Sooner onslaught of chances in the low slot have found their way by him. Tide still dangerous in this scenario, however. Down goes Connor Horn. He'll play it from his backside, looking for Demanchuk. Didn't get it to him, but here comes Blake either way. Blake dispossessed. Demanchuk, Johnny on the spot to hold on to it. And now Carson Glass. He'll wind in. Glass looking forward to Demanchuk. He couldn't get there. And now comes Chandler Bilodeau, the opening scorer for the Tide tonight. Shot on Culbertson Bond. He's not able to get a piece of that one, but it went wide. No harm, no foul for the Sooners as Carson Glass takes off. He's got some space to work with. Demanchuk to his left side. Glass walks in, looks for Demanchuk out in front. He couldn't tip it home. Rebound try was there, but went through the blue paint. At the top, here's Rieger. Rieger, shot was blocked and way up into the air and into the netting.
And this is why it's incredible to have someone like Brendan Culbertson Bond in your net for Oklahoma. Made some crucial saves earlier that allows Oklahoma to take the lead.
Yeah, thoughts maybe going back towards the Scorpion style save he made in a breakaway maybe about 5 or 6 minutes of game time ago that kept this, I believe, at the time, a 2-goal game.
Yeah, exactly. He's really allowed the Sooners to stay in this game and the offense to capitalize on that.
Draws one back by the Tide, and they'll try to escape the zone here and force something up. Rieger, first Sooner to it. Now play it back around Culbertson Bond's net. Tries to go towards the middle of the ice. Ooh, don't know about that idea. And now back the other way. Here he comes. Got a 2-on-1. Rieger walking in. He's got Howe with him and decided to go for the shot. It is blockered aside, and the Sooners will reset here. Bit of an inverted look for the team. Sinclair up at the blue line had to play a defensive role for a moment. Confusion maybe starting to ebb. Rieger in his own zone will play on his forehand. Big hit from behind. That'll be a penalty. There's Ben Wilcoxon with what looked like a cross-check on the Sooners.
And we'll go back onto the power play. Like we said, the Sooners are 0 for 5, and they've scored all their goals off of the power play tonight, so they're really going to want to capitalize on this opportunity to build that to a 3-goal lead.
We'll see if they change the look at all for personnel. Right now it looks like Glass, Sadler, and Cavalcanti getting ready to go back out there. Another quick silence falls over the benches here in front of us.
Yeah, it seems like the refs are trying to explain the penalty to the Alabama coach, and the Alabama bench, of course, not happy at all with this penalty on Wilcoxon.
There's a conversation with both officials, Ennis and Hull, here today. That'll be Tristan Glass in the dot opposite Bilodeau. And a contested draw eventually won back to Hunter Howe. Howe will walk the line and give it up to Sinclair. Sinclair, cross-ice pass. Net came off the Mortons. We're going to have to stop play here. So with the scoring onslaught here in the second period, I believe Lowe is still leading the team in points if he had an assist on Payne's tally, but 5 Sooners right now at a point per game. Andrew Lowe, Nate Payne, Ben Mondu, Will Blake, and Hunter Howe, the defenseman, all at that mark so far in the young season. It'll be Nate Payne finds Howe. Howe in the high slot. Lets one go that's caught and held onto.
Looks like things are getting chippy down there by the front of the Alabama goaltender. The refs again are discussing with the players, trying to keep them separated and keep more of these fights from breaking out.
We will see sometimes in the ACHA a running clock if a game gets too out of hand, but I don't think we're anywhere near that mark so far tonight. So Glass in the face-off circle tried to go forward with this one. It ends up in a contest on the wall between Sadler and Wallace. Glass will go around here. A minute 33 on the power play for the Sooners. Seems like they've been on it all period. Howe and Sadler have a quick catch at the blue line. Now Sadler, backhand for Glass. Sadler again, once again, plays it on the backhand. In deep for Glass. Along the sideboards is Logan Sadler, and a one-timer from Nate Payne couldn't go, but a rebound score! It's Tristan Glass, and the Sooners have a 5-2 lead.
The third Sooner to get his name on the score sheet tonight. Tristan Glass, an incredible shot, and now it's 5-2 Sooners.
All of them coming in the second period, a 5-1 onslaught in this frame.
And, you know, during the first intermission show, you asked me, what will the Sooners do to respond? And so far, they've been great at facing that adversity, and this looks great for future games.
So Will Blake back to the face-off circle. Big smile on his face tonight. 36-19, the shots on goal tally. As Blake will win this one back, Connor Horn plays it in his own zone. Carson Glass takes a hit on the play. And one more thing to mention, Amy, that was a power play goal for the Sooners. Now 1 for 6 on the night. So scratch that one off your bingo card. Here's Horn in the corner. He'll play it on his backhand around BCB. Contacted by Mansfield, and Mansfield into the slot. Interrupted was Carson Glass, and the Tide nearly turned them over. Still working on it here is Kramer. Kramer for Austin Fink, maybe the biggest member of the Crimson Tide. He stood up at the line by Blake Swearingen. Here's Carson Glass, younger brother of Tristan, the goal scorer, trying to work his way in. He had a goal a few nights ago, his first in the Sooner uniform. Had a great interview with Carson as well a couple weeks ago on Hockey Time. If you want to go back, click the live tab on the OU Hockey TV YouTube channel. You can see all of our previous live streams in their entirety. 1:50 left here in the period as DeCola locked in combat with Andrew Lowe at center ice. Tide will win this battle. Coming back, here's Ben Wilcoxon. Across the ice for DeCola once again. He'll go up in the air with this one. Swearingen is there too. It takes a big hit after making the play from Parkman. We'll play on, do say the officials, as Connor Horn paws one down. Lowe not able to get to this one, but Nate Payne is. $1:20 left on the clock here in period number 2 as that puck loudly clatters off the glass in front of us and it'll get wiped around. Nate Payne couldn't hold it in the zone. Long run for Hunter Howe now. Long trickling puck into Bama territory now. Icing was waved off. Looked like they were going to call it for a moment. Late decision there from the officials as Andrew Lowe keeps it inbounds, or excuse me, onside. Here's Hunter Howe trying to keep it in the zone, unable to hit hard from behind. And here comes another penalty, presumably against the Tide. Yes, it will be. It's Simmons going to the box here. Howe controlling, BCB to the bench. Extra attacker out for the Sooners, and another hit from Simmons behind the play on Hunter Howe will stop things.
And like you mentioned earlier, 1 for 6, the Sooners on the power play. This will be another opportunity for them to improve that and show coach that they can really get these goals and take advantage of the mistakes that the opposing team makes.
Remains to be seen exactly what the call will be. I believe it was another cross-check. It will go down as a cross-checking penalty to Gregory Simmons. 2 minutes into the sin bin for him as Mondu, Payne, and Lowe back to the ice. This unit yet to score on the power play tonight. Payne plays it around the boards for Sinclair. He's got Barone up top, plays catch with him for now, and in deep for Lowe. Lowe and Mondu have a quick catch on the left side. Now Barone walks the line, looks for a lane, shoots one on the ice. It was deflected by Payne. Easy save for Dunnigan behind the fact. Here's Mondu. 10 seconds left in the period. Big shot. It was deflected wide. And it looks like that's how things will end here in the second frame as Lowe takes a shot. No goal on that one. It was a bit too late.
And the Sooners will have 1:31 left in the power play when they come back in the third period and see how they can respond.
We'll take a quick look at what could have put the Sooners up 6-2. It was Andrew Lowe, what would have been his 6th of the year, but about a second and a half after time expired was that one.
Yeah, looking to continue where he left off with the hat trick last night, but just a little bit too late to count.
Before we go to break, I have a little treat for you. Last Wednesday, we showed you one highlight from Hockey Time in Oklahoma. Here's another as our very own Ben Dakia and Coach Arvanitas talked about some of the latest drama in the NFL.
Something I wanted to ask you. Have you been following the Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift thing at all?
Actually, I just heard about it just the other day. And then I actually went even a little further back, and then I saw that she actually came to the game.
She did.
So basically I'm sure that's big news for the NFL.
Now, see, Coach, I'm just saying, I know that there are a couple of single guys in that dressing room. I think we need to get one of them set up with a celebrity. I think it would do wonders for the image of this program.
You're involved with all this social media stuff. I'm sure you can get them working on that.
Think I can play matchmaker for a little bit?
I'm sure you have all the tools necessary.
Welcome back to Arctic Edge Arena for a little bit of second intermission coverage alongside Amy Acevedo. Once again, Caleb Shaw here in the booth tonight. Sooners jumped out to a 5-2 lead in the second period. 5 goals in just 9 minutes for this team.
Exactly. And in the first intermission, you talked about how would the Sooners respond, and it would be a great gauge for how they would go on to play against some of their tougher opponents later in the season. And so far, it looked like that response has been great.
So we spoke last night. One more interview for you guys to look at tonight. Coach Phil Tesserero with the Crimson Tide spoke on what they scouted this week when looking forward to playing OU.
Payne, obviously seeing his name a lot. He's younger, put some goals up. He's a smart player after watching the film. Sadler, he's another very good player. I believe he's a sophomore. I think we played him last year. Just talented players that know how to control the ice, the tempo of the game.
It's always a good time to be able to get the opposing teams involved here. And one more hello to anybody from Tuscaloosa or the surrounding areas that may have tuned in tonight. Really happy to have you here on OU Hockey TV. If you want to take a look at all the latest and greatest OU Sooners hockey apparel that you can rock around campus or around your own hometown, skate on over to OUHockey.com and click that shop tab. You can check out what we have here, or perhaps come pick one up at Arctic Edge Ice Arena yourself. Only place in town right now where you can get your hands on an official OU hockey jersey.
And they have some great looking jerseys out there, some vintage ones. Nice to see.
Yeah, a couple of the retired black uniforms from a few years ago are on display tonight. Officiating crew getting ready to retake the ice here. They are not the most popular gentlemen in the building tonight with the right side of the benches.
Yeah, we saw them skate over quite a few times to the Alabama bench to speak to their coach and seemingly a lot of the players as well to explain these penalties. And of course, no one's going to be happy to get a penalty, but especially Alabama when they saw their lead shrink pretty quickly.
We'll take a quick look at some of the period-ending stats for you as well here at the moment.
Yeah, the Sooners were able to grow their lead on shots. We saw that kind of diminish a little bit in the beginning of the second period, but now they have a 13-shot advantage, 36-23 over the Crimson Tide.
And I think most telling in that period, as I try to do a little bit of mental math here, we'll ballpark it around 15% for the Oklahoma power play percentage tonight. 1 for 6 after finally getting in the back of the net on the man advantage last period.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting to see OU score most of their goals off of the power play. However, they were able to put it together a few times to see the back of the net, and I'm sure Coach is happy about that, but I'm sure he's also, during the intermission, is going to bring up to his players that those are the opportunities they need to capitalize on if they want to maintain this lead. Alabama may be losing right now, but they were looking great throughout the first period and throughout the beginning of the second period, and I'm sure they're going to come back strong. They want this win, but so did the Sooners.
Yeah, Tide came into this game 0-5. Coach Arvanitas spoke highly of this program and how they're going to come out playing desperate hockey tonight. They've done so for 40 minutes, and I'm sure they're going to turn it up to 11 here in the final 20.
And we also can't forget to mention that Cavalcanti had a hat trick in the second period of the game, 3 goals, along with goals from Payne and Tristan Glass, the elder Glass brother, on the power play. And great to see some freshmen like Cavalcanti contributing to the game.
And the scoring onslaught started at 7:52 into the period, lasted until 17 minutes into the period. Things calmed down a little bit after that, but we are just about ready to get going once again here. We'll step aside for just one more second, take our places, and we'll get ready for puck drop. Sooners carrying a little bit of power play time into this period. Man advantage has about 1:27 on it. We'll get that popped up for you. Oh, nice. We already got it popped up for you on screen. Parker Vint producing tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Big thank you to him for filling in tonight, stepping into that role for the first time here on OU Hockey TV. Nate Payne in front of his own net will try to get the rush started for OU, nursing a 3-goal lead in this final frame of the weekend. There's been consistent scoring across 4 out of the 5 periods played so far over the course of this 2-game set for the Sooners. Only held off the score sheet in the first period tonight. Puts their weekend total at 15 goals so far. As Hunter Howe will play it on his forehand, looking for Sinclair. Now Cavalcanti walks in. Cavalcanti, he's got some space to work with. Shoots one that was deflected aside by the pad. Dunnigan still in here for the Tide tonight. He's played great so far. 32 saves on 37 shots. Looking again as a shot is deflected around him. Sinclair couldn't get to that one. Sooners still in the power play for 20 seconds or so. Sooners won their last 2 games by a combined score of 14-4. And as we've mentioned a few times, 10 of those coming last night against this Frozen Tide team. Saw Trey Atanasio in last night. BCB still in for the Sooners' 3rd period this time with the score a little bit closer than it was as the Tide have killed off this power play. And looks like we may have something else coming behind the play now.
Yeah, both benches pretty loud to start this period, and there seems to be a lot of noise coming from the Alabama bench.
Brody Wallace, Calvin Mansfield, and Evan Brown, the leading scorers for Alabama coming into tonight as looks like we're about set to get things started. No, the linesmen will have to take a break here as conversation ongoing between the benches. Looks like Evan Brown for the Tide going to have to come back out here after what was an icing call, yes it was, and Barone right off the shot. Swearingen's drive is going to be pushed aside by the pad of Dunnigan. 2 quick saves in succession. Barone dumps it in deep again. Austin Fink back behind the net. He'll play it on his forehand. Around for Wallace. Wallace changing directions quickly back behind the net. He'll play this one off the boards. A bank pass as Byron into the zone first. He gets by Swearingen. Nobody out in front to help him. Clever idea with the cross crease pass. Looked like my Pops banking in the 8 ball in a game of pool right there off the boards. Awesome Fink's pass goes by everybody. Icing is waved off. Hunter Howe had the reach to get to it. Rules the linesman. Mondu on his backhand now. He's got a flurry of Sooners with him. Tries to play it off the boards, and now he'll speed past Fink into the zone. Puck caught in his skates now. Gets a stick back to him, and Payne will wrap one on goal that is deflected to the side by Dunnigan. Back at the point again are the Sooners. This is Horn trying to find somewhere to go with it. Goes deep, and now the Tide able to force it back out. Eckstein going to try and drive into the zone. A couple of Sooners collide at the blue line. That was Horn. And Mondu as the net comes off the moorings. BCB makes a save on the goal line. And we'll get another stoppage.
Yeah, and that was a rare rush so far in this penalty. The period is picked up right where the game left off, with the Sooners seeing most of the time in the Alabama defensive zone. But a nice rush there at the end from Alabama. But you got BCB solid in the net. Doesn't let one by.
So we'll get the pegs reset. And Alabama right off the draw, they'll let one go. That was Sextro putting one on, and Culbertson Bond makes a quick save. Just under 3 minutes elapsed here as another quick shot off the draw is patted aside by Culbertson. Rebound, he got that one too, and it's pushed back into the corner. 3 dangerous chances quickly from the Tide. And that's what they need to tie this one up with some puck luck. Another shot goes wide as Sextro is there. Tries to bank one off of Culbertson Bond that, again, he'll freeze. And a lot of opportunities here coming for Bama.
You know, just as I said that the Sooners were getting most of the offense so far early on in this period, Alabama hits a flurry of shots against Culbertson Bond, but he's able to keep them out of the net. It's still 5-2 Sooners in the third.
A quick 6 shots on goal from the Tide here to open up in his first 3 minutes and some change. Rieger behind his own net, tries to escape in the middle. Bad idea, nearly turned it over. Brendan Davidson, Johnny on the spot to clean it up as the Tide will dump it back in. Here is Rieger. He'll change directions behind his own net and try to force it forward. Tristan Davidson, the younger brother, trying to cut his way into the zone. It's a family affair here on the Sooners team. A few pairs. Does a big hit by Rieger. He was looking to line up Evan Brown. Caught him up high. Both players back to their feet. And Rieger may have gotten away with one there as we play on. Pawed down by a Tide player in their own zone. They'll try and go forwards. Connor Horn, first one too, at collision in front of us between him and Kramer as the puck trickles back behind Dunnigan. 16:05 to go in this game tonight that has really picked up the pace as icing called on the Tide will go back to their side of the ice.
And so far, it seems like each team are getting little spurts of gameplay and time where they're getting off a bunch of shots. But right now, it doesn't seem like anyone's necessarily dominating this period.
Score clock adjusted to 16:01 in period number 3. Still 5-2 Sooners. You're just joining us. The Tide jumped out to a 2-0 advantage here. And what was one of the roughest opening 20 minutes for the Sooners so far. Horn shot blocked right off the draw by Eckstein. Here's Sadler trying to walk in. He's tripped on the play. Couldn't get the pass across. No call as Kramer goes the other direction. There's a clean takedown by number 11 in Crimson as Jake Barone gets to it for the Sooners. Cavalcanti evades a hit, takes a second one by Evan Brown. Horn, a low dump in attempt that skitters behind Cameron Dunnigan. As now Bouchard will walk in. And put some pressure on Horn, who dumps it back in once again as we approach 5 minutes. Gone here in the final frame. Up top here is Horn. He's got space to work with and fires one wide. Tristan Glass trying to get the puck back here in the offensive zone. He does for the moment, and the Sooners retain possession. Here's Sadler. Sadler walking in. He shoots one that's deflected wide. Hunter Howe over to Jake Barone. And now he'll play it up looking for Sadler, and inside that one was deflected up into the netting. That little unique part of Arctic Edge here, the netting around this arena stretches all the way down to the glass, going all the way down the far side of the rink here.
Yeah, we mentioned the low glass a little bit last night, so if you're ever coming up to Edmond to watch your Sooners play some hockey, you got to keep your eyes peeled for any pucks that might be flying out of the rink.
Good souvenir opportunity is always here in Edmond, as it is free for OU students and staff. Just show your ID at the door and you can come enjoy some Boomer Sooner hockey along with us. Hunter Howe, D-to-D, looking for Barone as Barone cuts up ice here. He'll play it off the boards, looking for Carson Glass. It trickles back behind the Alabama netminder Dunnigan. Demanchuk throws his body into the play. No match for the much bigger Ralph Mundy on that check. Demanchuk back in the corner, now controlling the puck. He's pinned to the boards by Tekola, and Carson Glass comes in to assist. Glass on his forehand, he's pushed aside, stays on his feet for the moment. It's now Demanchuk back up top, pawed down by Howe, who lets one go, and it's caught by Dunnigan.
And yesterday when we spoke to Coach, he said that he wanted the Sooners to get at least 40 shots and keep Alabama under that. Again, he's 2 for 2 after he went 1-1 last night, while the Sooners now have 41 shots. The Crimson Tide do have 25, but it's worked out so far in the Sooners' favor.
Mondu in for the draw opposite of Gregory Simmons, who was the penalized man on OU's only power play goal of the game so far. They are 1 for 6 in that department, as Connor Horn's going to play one across his body. Here's Parkman, tries to put it out in front. Here's Bonifay with a shot, not Tristan Bonifay, Nate Byron. Hoping to bring up one of the ex-Sooners here tonight. You're watching, miss you, Bonifay. Hope you're doing great. Here's Simmons walking back into the zone once again. Puts it across, and a great save by Culbertson Bond on James Parkman. And now here's Andrew Lowe. He got a hat trick last night. Breakaway upcoming for OU. Lowe walks in on his forehand, and it's saved by Dunnigan. Penalty upcoming behind it to the Crimson Tide. And Lowe brought down by Mundy, who is going to take a slash.
Yeah, the talented freshman looking to add to the goal column on the score sheet tonight, but didn't work out. An incredible save by Cameron Dunnigan, who's been pretty solid in net all night for the Crimson Tide.
The penalized player is Ralph Murphy. He'll take a seat in the box with the attendant there tonight.
This is another opportunity for the Sooners to work on the power play. They were able to score 1 power play goal, Tristan Glass, last period, and they're looking to see if they can do it again.
Lowe circling on the far side of the ice, on the left extreme of your screen, as Mondu will come into the face-off dot and take this one. 2-minute power play coming for the Sooners. Their 7th opportunity of the game. They're 1 for 6 so far. And Mondu will control on the far side boards from us. Barone on his backhand looking for Sinclair. It's interrupted at the point by Chandler Bildo, who had the opening goal tonight. Mondu, a little bit of open ice to work with now with Lowe. Lowe looking for Payne. He tries to skate in, had the puck taken off his forehand and dumped all the way down the ice. 1:35 on the power play, 13:09 in the game. Clock not necessarily a big factor for the Tide yet. They know that we can score fast in this league, but certainly in the back of their minds, especially with the power play. Sooners are well offsides on this play, but looks like they got away with one, and the Tide able to get a little bit of puck luck here. And we'll get it back on the stick of Wallace, and his shot is deflected, never got through. I think Sinclair had that one, and Sinclair got pushed from behind, stayed on his feet. Potential dangerous play there, but no worse for wear is number 7. Nate Payne dekes around next to him and gets his leg started. He'll walk in. His shot high of the net as Sadler comes in. Sadler to Sinclair, now back at the point. He awaits a pass. Payne, other side for Howe. Howe, backhand, looking for Sadler. Nifty move there, but just out of reach of the junior forward. Sinclair comes away with the puck. We'll go back up top for Howe. Howe walks the line, back to Sinclair. Sinclair into the faceoff dot. His shot is can contact the glove of Dunnigan and go wide. 31 seconds left on the power play. Hunter Howe will go across here looking for Rieger. Rieger with a full head of steam walking in. Right, that's Cavalcanti. Check it with a low shot that is patted aside with a purpose by Dunnigan. We'll go back up top here. Cavalcanti again looking for the 4th of the night. Couldn't do it. And here's Tristan Glass in the corner. Glass tries to go behind the net for Sinclair and nothing doing as the Tide will finally clear this one out with 2 seconds and 1 left on the power play. Parkman back out of the box trying to make a steal happen at the blue line. Nearly comes away with it as 3 Tide players converge on the puck. Cavalcanti and Sadler get away with this one. Here's Sadler walking on his forehand. Tries to cut out in front and the puck got stuck in his feet. Nothing doing there. Sadler turns once again at the blue line. Tries to deke around. He's taken down from behind. And that's going to be another penalty on the Tide. 8th one of the game upcoming.
And the Tide seem to be getting frustrated with these penalties tonight, but lucky for them, they're doing great on the penalty kill so far, only allowing 1 goal for the 7 chances that the Sooners have had so far, and they're looking to make it 1 for 8.
So goals coming in bunches for the Sooners as Wallace gives I'm sure a very friendly stick tap to Tristan Glass skating back towards the bench. Almost halfway through period number 3. We're not done yet here in Edmond. Still a lot of fireworks to be displayed on the ice.
Exactly, and Alabama is hungry for that first win of the season, so just because there's only 11 minutes left and they're down by 3 does not mean that they will be giving up.
Contested draw is won by the Tide for the moment. Sooners keep it in the zone, though. It's Sinclair across for Barone. Barone back up top from Sinclair near the Bronco head. He'll go across with Demanchuk. Demanchuk for Barone. A lot of space there. Now back up top for Sinclair as Wallace loses a glove. A little bit of laundry out on the ice right now as Carson Glass behind the net for Demanchuk. Sinclair calling for it, cross ice. Barone's shot is swallowed by Dunnigan.
Dunnigan's doing a great job in front of this OU offense that's getting off a lot of shots in front of his net. He hasn't let any through so far this period, and he's staying cool, calm, and collected in front of that net to keep the game within reach for the Crimson Tide.
He had that incredibly tough 9-minute stretch in the second period. Been great for the opening 9 here in the third. He has faced 9 shots, let none of them go. Minute 34 to contend with on the man advantage for the Sooners. Demanchuk, powerful on the draw, comes forward with it. Thought about a wrap chance, and now skates slowly out for Sinclair. Quick catch back for Demanchuk. Back up top for Sinclair. He'll let one go, looking for a tip, none provided. And Demanchuk again along the corner. Domo over across for Barone. Barone for Sinclair. Demanchuk again trying to force one in front. Glass tried to tip it home instead. Stopped it in its tracks. And the Sooners will reset once again. $1:04 left on the power play. Demanchuk's shot is blocked in front. And converging on the play is Barone. Nothing he could do about that one. And Max Eckstein will watch this one trickle down to BCB. Over halfway through period 3 now. Still scoreless in the third period. 5-2 in favor of the Sooners overall tonight. Here's Mondu across center ice with the head of steam. He's got Fink backpedaling now. Tries to go in deep for Andrew Lowe. Wasn't ready for the pass. And the Sooners will reset here. About half a minute left on the power play. Howe walking in, winds up and fires one that was patted aside with a purpose by Dunnigan. Still looking for our first howitzer of the year from Hunter Howe. We know he can blast it from the point as Barone, a quick shot goes on. Rebound was saved by Dunnigan, and another try. He got a hold of that one too, and he'll cover it up. Great display from the Tide's netminder.
Yeah, Dunnigan really hopping quickly to cover that puck, as there was quite a few rebounds that the Sooners got some great chances on, but he did not want to let that one go in.
It was Barone who had 2 of them in front of the net. 15 seconds left to go as the Sooners have again hit 50 shots on goal for the night.
The way Dunnigan went after that puck almost reminds me of a fumble recovery in football, and you can see that the Crimson Tide pay homage to that on their helmets with the white stripe across the top.
Got that single numeral on the left side, or both sides as well. Looks like maybe it was an anomaly. I saw the player that only had one, but a really cool look for them to reference the Tide's classic football uniform like that.
Yeah, and it seems that football mentality bleeds a little bit into their play with so much physicality.
So here's Fink trying to play it on his forehand. Power play is over for the Sooners as Lowe forces his way back in. He's taken down cleanly with Mondu helping out. Austin Fink will play it out of the zone. He's got Parkman with him as Parkman dumps one and took a funky hop there. Byron, first Tide player to it, and here's Lowe trying to wheel around. Couldn't get there first. 8:44 to go here in period number 3. And it looks like that one finds its way out of play, and we'll get one more stoppage here.
And for the second game in a row, the Sooners will get out more than 50 shots on goal. Something that coach will be happy about. However, I'm sure during the power play, he'll want more of those shots to go in the back of the net.
Certainly still progress to be made on this young team that leaps and bounds from the year before and on their longest winning streak in the past few years of play. Looking to continue it here tonight and move to 6-0-0 on the young season should they hold on for 8 minutes and 27 seconds. Payne taken out at center ice, no call provided on that one as the Sooners get it in deep. Here's Simmons working out with it. He's got a big head of steam at center ice, trying to charge in and leaves the puck just in front of the blue line, and the Tide are caught offside.
Alabama's really trying to get something going here. Around 8:15 left in this third period, and they're going to need they can score goals quick, but they're going to start scoring them pretty quickly if they want to catch up from the 3-goal deficit that they currently face.
Will be Sextro taking the draw. He very nearly put one in the back of the net recently. And the Tide will control this time. So much rich history with both of these football programs here. Alabama and the SEC, OU on their way to the SEC. They have only met 5 times in football competition, though. 3 of those going to Alabama, the last 3. 1 to Oklahoma in 1963 Orange Bowl, and then a tie in the Astro Bluebonnet Bowl in 1970 between the two teams. Barone takes a hip check, stays on his feet, and controls the puck. Here's Davidson walking down the ice. Davidson with some space, drops it behind him for brother Tristan. Stays on his feet as well. Davidson walks in with a shot that was held on to by Dunnigan.
And as you mentioned earlier, the move to the SEC, Alabama is one of 2, Oklahoma being that other team, SEC teams to have a D1 hockey team. And, you know, that SEC rivalry might not necessarily transfer to hockey. It definitely gets a lot of fans excited to watch these 2 teams compete on the ice and the gridiron.
Little correction on the football stuff there. It was Oklahoma who had 3 in a row before the Orange Bowl in 2018 that Alabama did win. Right now, Oklahoma leads the series 3-1-1 with that considered. Bouchard walking in near the blue line, couldn't force it in. Sooners will see that Bama team very soon. Next year, Alabama going to make their way into Norman for the first time in SEC football action. Here's Mansfield trying to force his way into the zone to Manchuk. Buys him up at the line, doesn't let him through. 7:02 left here in regulation time tonight as Glass spins around at center ice. Here's Byron trying to make it through. Nothing doing there as Rieger back behind his own net. Rieger back up top. Here's Murphy with a shot that's deflected by Culbertson Bond and shoved aside.
And Culbertson Bond hasn't seen a lot of action since the beginning of this period, but he's staying sharp down there without seeing too many shots on goal, and he's able to keep it out of the net, keep this 5-2 for the Sooners.
One more look at the most recent Culbertson Bond save. He is 25 of 27 facing shots tonight as Bama wins this draw back. Here's Wallace looking for a lane to shoot from. It was blocked in front, never got through. Away go the Sooners. Here's Sadler. Got Cavalcanti on the left side. Sadler holds on, diving in front, and the puck nearly got over the goal line behind it. Rebound try is held on to and forced out of the net.
Incredible play by Dunnigan and also incredible misfortune for the Sooners. That puck looked like it was going to slowly trickle in for Dunnigan, and the Alabama defense were able to get it off before crossing that line.
One more look at the great BCB save, blockering that one aside with a punch-like mentality.
And an update on the football score down in Norman. It is 50 OU, 20 Iowa State.
So the Sooners shutting them out in the second half so far. Good to see from Venables' defense. Alabama wheeling into the zone. Here's Lopez. He's got a goal tonight. Nifty move in the slot, but deflected away by Barone. Sadler, lone Sooner up the ice, takes his man down and still on his feet with the puck. Sooners keep it onside for the moment. 2-on-2 rush the other way now. And it's Lopez trying to drive in, keeps it onside for the moment. Now forced out. Cavalcanti, first Sooner to touch it. Spoke to Logan Cavalcanti last year on the broadcast during the spring semester when I believe the Missouri State Ice Bears were in town. Had a great time chatting it up with him as one of the first recruits Coach Arvanitis brought in. Max Eckstein now for the title. Play it across. Wallace will soccer style one into the zone that Hunter Howe gets to first. Chased by Kramer. Big hit from behind after he makes the play. Here's Nate Payne playing on the forehand. Gets it around Dunnigan, who leaves his net. Andrew Lowe aggressively tried to play the puck and skips over him for the moment. Swearingen over the horn. Long cross corner pass will catch the netting in the corner, and we'll get a stoppage here at 5:15.
Yeah, Alabama really trying to keep that puck out of their own defensive goal, trying to score some goals. Like we said, they need to score 3 goals now in around 5 minutes, 15 seconds. If they want to get that, want to tie the game, they'll have to score 4 if they want to get their first win of the season.
One more fact for you about the Oklahoma-Alabama football series. President John F. Kennedy was in attendance for an OU-Alabama football game in 1963. I'm sure he had the correct allegiances in that matchup. As he tended to do in major conflicts. Here's BCB back behind his own net once again. He is pressured behind the net by Sextro, and now the Tide looking to force a turnover. They do, and Culbertson Bond will melt this one down.
Yeah, the Crimson Tide have gotten some good play up there, but haven't gotten too many shots off up in the Oklahoma zone, and they're going to need to really improve on those, get more shots if they want to see anything get past a great goalie like BCB.
Easily the strongest start to a season that Culbertson Bond has enjoyed so far. Came into this game over 900 in save percentage. As Sinclair will come on to take a draw. Not something he normally does, but he does enough of a job to force another faceoff. Puck drop once again, and we'll get back underway with under 4:40 to go here in regulation time. Brendan Davidson spins and takes a hit from Parkman. 3 Sooners locked in combat with 3 Alabama players, and for the moment, the Crimson and Cream come away with it as a turnover in front lets Simmons rocket one high. Simmons back behind the net once again, knocking on the door here are the Tide. Backhand pass out in front, unattainable, and away go the Sooners. 3-on-2 down the ice, Tristan Davidson leading it. Got Hunter Howe to his right side, brother Brendan behind him, and I think that one may have been whistled offside. It's weakly. We still play on, though. Perhaps an erroneous whistle that time as a puck sent all the way down the ice past Culbertson Bond will be whistled for icing as Rieger wins the race.
Yeah, the Sooners doing a good job of keeping it away and making those chances hard for Alabama to get in front of their own net, and they still lead it 5-2.
You can never make assumptions about what goes on in this arena, so don't go anywhere, folks. 4 minutes or so left on the board. Anything could happen here. I'll drop the puck on the Alabama side of the ice. Will Blake wins the draw back, and Hunter Howe with a backhand one across the glass. Manchuk in the corner. I'll spin it back up for Rieger, and he couldn't hang on to the puck at the blue line. He will turn it past Parkman, turns it over now, 2-on-1 developing for Simmons. He drives in past Rieger, tries to get it to his forehand, and couldn't get the shot away. Someone lost their lumber back there. Looks like it is Rieger without a stick now as Bouchard for the Tide is pushed down in the corner. Get back up to his feet, plays the puck on his forehand. Penalty upcoming against the Sooners. Will Blake with a cross check. And perhaps the life they needed upcoming.
Yeah, and while Alabama hasn't been able to do anything so far in this third period, it's not for lack of trying, especially in these last few minutes. They're really showing some speed, some strength, trying to get those goals through the net, but it's just not happening for them so far.
So Will Blake, the offender on this one. I believe it is his first penalty of the young season, or at least his first in this series tonight.
The Sooners have been pretty good on the penalty kill throughout this season, and they're going to want to look to improve on that right now in these crucial 3 minutes left of the game.
So Tide can spend nearly 66% of the remaining time on the power play. I'm sure they want to score as quick as they can, though. We'll keep an eye on Dunnigan in net. Cross-ice pass for Simmons. He gets a shot away that goes high over Culbertson-Bond's shoulder. Dangerous opportunity there as a collision in front of the net. Culbertson-Bond on his backside, net off the moorings.
Yeah, he's sitting up right now. Not too sure what's happening down there. Laying down on his back. Couldn't really see the collision, but we hope he's okay as he rolls over and seems to get right back up.
Gotta feel kind of like a turtle flipped over on its shell there as a goalie with so much gear up on you.
Yeah, a lot of heavy equipment. Probably makes it hard to move when you're lying on your back.
So Culbertson-Bond back to his ready position as Simmons will fight for the draw, and he will win it back. Wallace keeps it in the zone for the moment. Sooners force a turnover at the blue line. Mondu wanted a stretch pass from Payne, and it didn't come his way. 1:33 left on the power play for Alabama. They'll reset behind their own net on the stick of Wallace. Brody Wallace on his forehand. Cross ice. Looking for Bilodeau. He had the opening goal tonight. Swearingen will wrap one around with a hard slap shot that circles all the way around the ice. A 200-foot dump in. 1:11 left on the power play. 2:24 in regulation time as the Tide not too desperate to get something going here. Dunnigan still in his net. We'll keep an eye on that side of the ice as here's Mansfield trying to walk in. He's made some scoring happen this year. See what he can do. Connor Horn on his backhand, tries to escape the zone, couldn't do it. Here's Kramer. Kramer walks in, shoots one that Culbertson-Bond shoulders away. Rebound try is still there, and he held on to that one too.
A great save by Culbertson-Bond there, almost in the back of the net for the Crimson Tide, but he would just not let that one through. Great penalty kill so far for the Sooners.
Been a highlight reel night for Culbertson-Bond. After going down 2-0, he has been nothing short of a brick wall in goal.
A few Scorpion saves tonight. Like you said, add those to the highlight reel. Great night for him in net.
Tide fight for the draw. 45 seconds left on the power play, should they need it all. Here's Barone for the Sooners in deep. He's able to clear the zone for the moment. And Austin Fink will control. Inside his own blue line, goes across to Kramer. Kramer, long pass from Mansfield. He's onside, and now the Tide able to get their forecheck set up. They can't keep it in, however, and another 200-foot dump in for Coach Arvanitis' Sooners. $1:34 to go here tonight as Brown tries to enter the zone. He was interrupted by his own man. That was Mansfield that he ran into. Dunnigan back behind his own net will play this one. 53 shots on goal for the Sooners as it stands compared to 30 for the Tide. Sooners back to full strength here as Kramer dumps it in the opposite corner. Rieger will play it around the boards for Davidson. That's Tristan. And now he'll go back to a friend.
We'll see an extra attacker for Alabama as Dunnigan goes off to the bench.
So 6 skaters out for the Tide now. As Hunter Howe looks to force a turnover, rather Davidson check it there at the blue line. He'll get a hold of it on his backhand, now trying to skate up. One-man show, and he takes a big hit from Brown. And now doubled up by a couple of Tide players. Brother Brendan gets back in there, throws a hit of his own in retribution. And now here's a long shot just wide of the net. Trying to make it happen that time was Tristan, and 29 seconds left here. Brother Brendan throws a big hit. Tide still in control here at Sextro for Wallace. Got Simmons to his left side. Simmons walks in, tries to throw one out in front that BCB was privy for, and looks like the net may be off the pegs one more time back there.
Close shot there by the Sooners to almost take this lead to 6-2. Just a little bit wide of the net, and unfortunately nothing working late in this period for the Crimson Tide.
Just 20 seconds on the clock here as the Sooners try to ice this one away. It'll be Simmons opposite Sinclair in the face-off dot. Linesman drops the puck. We are back underway here. Net still empty for the Tide. Sooners can add to it if they want as Brendan Davidson takes a big chat. Bouchard behind the play will backhand one into the netting, and we'll try it one more time and re-rack them.
Yeah, just 12 seconds left in this game, and a great defensive third period from the Sooners to allow no goals for the Crimson Tide, and they're looking to take their 6th win of the season and go undefeated.
Looks like a penalty behind the play. One of the Tide is being escorted to the box. It's Rolando Lopez, so perhaps one of the magic words said here late in the game tonight, and a lot of noise right below us.
Yeah, it won't be too much of an effective power play. Only 12 seconds left on the clock.
And Dunnigan is back in net for the Tide, as you may expect here for the situation. Sinclair and both Davidsons out there. Brendan Davison with 2 goals last night, plays it off the draw, tried to wipe one on that he fanned on, and now Sinclair across for brother Brendan. Tristan lets one go that is saved by Dunnigan and held on to with 3.4 to go. Some more pushing and shoving in the corner.
Yeah, well, this power play might not mean too much. You can see that the Sooners clearly want to improve on it. Not great for them tonight, but if they can get one more goal in the net tonight, they're definitely going to want to. As we see a player escorted off the ice for the Crimson Tide. Looks like that was number 9, Maxwell Sextro.
And so he'll take an early seat here tonight. Oklahoma looking to win their 5th straight game against Alabama, 6th straight this year. And 2 minutes on the score sheet added for Sextro. Still 4 men out there for Alabama, so perhaps an off-the-books penalty. And now one of them will leave. It's a 5-on-3 for the remaining 3 and some seconds change. So puck drops for Sinclair. It's played by Brody Wallace. He'll wrap it around, and who can cover the wagons as OU 5-2 decision as Brendan Culbertson Bond gives a little celebratory pose. The Sooners are undefeated at 6-0-0 for the first time under Coach Arvanites' second tenure.
Exactly, an incredible game in the net for Culbertson Vaughn, but also an incredible game by freshman Cavalcanti. A hat trick tonight. We have a goal by Payne and Tristan Glass, a power play goal, an all-around incredible game from the Sooners.
Saw Cavalcanti, like you said, his first hat trick as a Sooner. 5 goals in total, a couple more scoring tallies from Nate Payne. And, from Tristan Glass, the final Sooner to score in that 9-minute outpouring. Respectful handshake line going on here at center ice. And let's not discount the play tonight of Cameron Dunnigan, who, despite giving up 5 goals, still saved over 90% of the shots sent his way. The Sooners just would not give him a break tonight.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Well, he did give up those 5 goals. He was incredible in net, coming off, getting the start the third period last night, and really carried some great goaltending through. Unfortunately, was just not able to stave off the Sooner offense.
So as the Pride plays us out to Boomer Sooner here tonight, we'll catch up with Logan Cavalcanti next week on Hockey Time in Oklahoma. He is tonight's OU Hockey TV player of the game with that fantastic hat trick in the second period. Nearly a natural one, just interrupted so rudely by Nate Payne scoring one of his own.
Yeah, some incredible scoring tonight by the Sooners all around. There are a few things that they're going to adjust on. Those defensive miscues early in the game, and really going to want to up their power play, but overall, I don't think you can be mad at this game as a Sooner player or a Sooner fan.
So we'll let the Pride play you out to the OU alma mater. The chant here tonight, one's up from the players. And for all of us here in the booth, for Ben Dacu, Lauren Simpkins, Britton Ross, and Noah Jones and Christian Markey, Caleb Shaw, Amy Acevedo, and Parker Fint here in the booth tonight for you. Thanks so much for tuning in to OU Hockey TV tonight. If you're here in the arena with us, have a safe drive home. And if you're watching on TV, computer, or your phone at home, have a fantastic rest of your weekend. You've been watching OU Hockey on OU Hockey TV.